Genba charges at the Hashiriyan, who easily repels him back. Genba says he will never forget his face or who he is, Disrace. Disrace introduces himself as the Hashiriyan rebuild commander. But before Disrace can continue, Genba is fired up. Literally. Much to everyone's shock, he suddenly turns into a feline alien. Genba henshins and again charges toward Disrace. But while Genba gives it all he's got, Disrace is easily able to counter his attacks. The battle causes reverberations toward the others, which sends them flying back and injuring them. Disrace has no idea who Genba is, but he decides to just leave and get some rest after his long trip here. After Disrace disappears, Genba grows crazy, shooting randomly until Taya jumps on him and gets him to calm down. Genba dehenshins. Meanwhile, Mr. Nato and Director Tokoyori are discussing what's happened. Mr. Nato comments on Director Tokoyori using the boonbooms to draw out Disrace. But Director Tokoyori says this new commander should be of more use to them than the last one. Anyway, the ISA would never let these space thugs get their way. The director asks Mr. Nato about the progress on what he's working on. Mr. Nato says their mass production is coming along fine as 3 big robos stand in a mysterious warehouse. Back at the garage, investigator Shurabe says she never expected Genba to be an alien. Sakito recognizes Genba's form as that of planet Buriki. Genba confirms and says his real name is Genbard Delivery 2. Sakito is shocked because he knows of that name. Byakundi explains that Buriki is home to the Galactic Commerce King Delivery, whose fulfillment network spans the galaxy. Delivery 2 is his heir. Genba says Buriki was taken over by the Hashiriyan and Disrace was the commander. His father was sent to prison on false charges, and that's when the planet was turned into a Hashiriyan fulfillment center instead. Genba was the only survivor and managed to flee to Earth. That's when he met Taya. Genba recalls stumbling upon Taya and his car breaking down on the road. Genba offered to provide him the part he needed to get the car up and running again. Though Genba did not ask for anything in return, Taya helps him up when he stumbles and begins to turn back into his Burikian form. Taya had offered him a lollipop. Genba explains that for Burikians to keep their human appearance, they require sugar. Shurabe asks Genba where he gets his parts from. He says he's been taking his spaceship apart little by little. Taya realizes it's because Genba does not think he'll ever have a need for the spaceship since he won't be able to return to his planet. Taya remembers Genba saying that there would be something he'd be able to do if he became a Boonboomger. Shishiro says Genba must have a dream to restoring his planet. Mira says she knows exactly what they must do. They can all work together to restore Buriki. Ju says he will never forgive the Hashiriyan for what they did to Genba's planet. Genba looks to Shishiro and Taya and they nod in agreement. That evening, Genba thinks about that moment while on a rooftop. He tells himself that would be pointless anyway. On the other side of town, Disrace meets the General 3 and explains to them the need for strong targeting and marketing to make an invasion successful. He says there's no use in explaining further since they probably won't understand anyway. Just then, a big package comes crashing down onto the General 3. Disrace was expecting this order. Next morning while Disrace is still sleeping, the General 3 open the package up and out rolls a carpet. Disrace wakes up and says that's alright. He respects them for getting to Earth first. He orders Atasha to get to it and Atasha keys in the rug. At the garage, Shurabe tells Genba that he is now a subject of special surveillance by the ISA. He understands. Shurabe apologizes and says she is doing her best to be as supportive of him as she can. Just then, the alarm sounds and they have to hurry out. Bun stops Genba, though has trouble saying what he wants to say to him. Genba understands him and says thanks. Their situations are similar, but different. You're a good guy, Genba tells Bun. The Boonbooms arrive at a fansign event where Carpet Guruma has been wrapping people up in carpets, producing much gasoline. The Boonbooms roll the people to safety before henshining. Genba watches as the others battle the Negeretta. He is comforted and reassured by them. Taya manages to take the battle with Carpet Guruma outside and is able to deliver a roaring vanish finisher. Yuruka quickly embiggens the Kurumaju and the Boonbooms hop into the robo. Meanwhile, Sakito and Byakundi confront Disrace as he is walking away. Disrace cheers Carpet Guruma on. Sakito demands Disrace tell what he has planned for Earth. Disrace says he will turn Earth into another fulfillment center. Sakito has no idea what he is talking about and Disrace says he wouldn't know even if he explained. As Taya delivers a Zunzan finish to take care of Carpet Guruma for good, Disrace declares today's task complete. Sakito tries to deliver a finisher at Disrace too. But Disrace easily counters the attack and forces Sakito to henshin before finally leaving. Byakundi runs over to his partner and says Disrace really is strong. Later, the others approach Genba by the water. Mira says there's delicious curry waiting at the garage. Genba tells them that it seems he has grown to love them more than he thought. That's why he is giving up his seat. The others are all shocked. Genba says they'll be fine without him. What's this all of a sudden? Ju asks. Taya reminds Genba about him wanting to take back his planet. Genba says he wants to defeat Disrace himself and does not want them to get caught up in his revenge. Genba reminds Taya that you must take the wheel yourself. He hands Taya the charge axe back to Taya. Taya understands Genba. Mira and Ju protest Genba's decision and Taya's acceptance. Shishiro asks Taya if he is sure since he had wanted a supplier on the team. Taya tells Genba to keep his axe as it might come in handy. Farewell Boonboomgers, Genba says. Meanwhile, the General 3 unrolled a carpet again. Disrace tells them to look forward to what he has in store. Elsewhere, a dog emerges from the trash.